more people to come in, but listen, I want you guys to listen to the words of this song. This song is on point. When you're talking about entrepreneurs, listen to the words of this song. You gotta lose yourself. When you get into this space of entrepreneurship, you gotta lose yourself. So I'm gonna run that back, and I want you guys to get up out your chairs. I want you to get excited about the space that you have walked into called entrepreneurship. We're gonna have a lot of fun, and I can't have fun by myself, so I need you guys to help me out. So when I run that back, we're gonna lose ourselves. How does that sound? Who don't like Eminem? Who don't like Eminem telling you better lose yourself? Matter of fact, the former president of the United States the other day was standing on stage in Detroit, and he quoted the words to this song, "You better lose yourself." So I'm gonna run it back, and I want you guys to get up off the chairs and let's have some fun today. Sound like a plan? Is that asking too much? Is that asking too much? This is the last session of the day, so we gotta have a little fun. We gotta be a little hype, because you might feel a little tired. So to get that tiredness up out of you, we're gonna get up, we're gonna move around, we're gonna shake hands, we're gonna talk to the person next to us, we're gonna do all of that stuff. But in the meantime, we're gonna be learning. If you got a friend, an enemy, or somebody that's out in the lobby that you think needs to be in here, I would admonish you to go get them, because we're gonna get things done today. Sound like a plan? Sound like a plan? Sound like a plan in the red tie? Sound like a plan in the maroon? Sound like a plan? Got a friend, enemy, somebody? Go tell somebody. We're going to be starting in 3 to 5 minutes, 3 to 5. But I'm going to run that back, because you got to lose yourself. This opportunity, because once in a lifetime, you got to lose yourself. Yep. I got this little gadget right here. It's supposed to be following me around. I'm gonna see if it works well. You know, somebody introduced it to me in this IT world and space, so we're gonna see. All right. Get up, man. Get up. When that hook drop, y'all need to get up. When that hook drop, get up. Watch this beat. Come on, get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up, 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 get up. You gotta lose yourself. This is the one, this song right here should be your entrepreneur's theme song. This song right here should motivate you to say, you know what? I'm gonna do that thing. Listen to this. He's nervous. On the surface, he's ready. Come on. When he opened his mouth, the words don't come out. Remember that idea, that thing that you was thinking about doing? Remember that speech you was about to get on? I remember when I was a little kid, and I was getting ready to say my Easter speech, and I had a nephew that sat probably right in that area of the church, and I got up on the stage to tell my little Easter speech, and guess what I did? I cried, because the words didn't come out. But now, I'm telling you right now, you gotta lose yourself. Come on. Come on. Now, do I need to crank that up a little bit louder to make you feel it? Okay, I know what it is. It ain't loud enough. It ain't loud enough for you to feel it. You gotta feel it. You gotta feel it. You gotta lose yourself. So you better let it go. You gotta lose yourself. Don't miss this chance to blow this opportunity. Comes only once in a lifetime. This opportunity comes only once in a lifetime. Showing up in this space only Yeah. When you see them again, tell them we're going to lose them. Hey guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. How's the CEO conference going for you guys so far? And a round of applause. Come on, give it up, give it up, give it up. How many of you guys have never been to the fine state of Tampa? Fine city of Tampa, Florida. Never been to Florida, never been to Tampa. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm so excited to have you guys in our fine city. I've been living in Tampa since 2017, and I wouldn't trade it in for an old Cadillac. Maybe a new one, but not an old Cadillac. He's getting some information up that we're going to say out loud, because I want you to understand where we're headed in this thing, in this space called entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about some things today. Forgive us for running a fraction behind. Did you guys hear this last panel? Anybody was here for the last panel? Listen, this panel dropped some KNOWLEDGE on the people. Let's give it up for them one more time. Let's give it up for them. They dropped some straight up knowledge. This young lady shared with us this book called, she introduced us to this book called Pitchology. And when she said that, I was like, wow, I teach a pitch class, but I've not known of this author. So they did a phenomenal job sharing that information with you, or sharing the information with the crowd. It was a phenomenal organization. The CEO organization, the Collegiate Entrepreneurs Organization, is changing lives. It's changing lives. How is it changing lives? It's changing lives through you. The Bible says a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So guess what? That's what you guys are doing. Give yourselves a round of applause. Hold on. I don't want you to pity pat yourself. See, because sometimes we get to doing this because we just minimize what we're doing, and we minimize the space that we're operating in, and we minimize the psychology and the things that we do. But what I want you to do, when you give yourselves a round of applause, I want you to give yourself such a loud, thunderous round of applause as if Beyonce, Jay-Z, whoever your favorite artist is, whoever they may or may not be, that's the round of applause I want you to give yourselves for what you've done. So let's go. Raise the roof. Give yourselves a round of applause. Come on. Come on. Make some noise. That's for you. Not that was for me, I can accept it. But what about for you? What about for you? What about the sleepless nights that you had doing homework, trying to figure out a strategic planning methodology? What about the long nights that you stayed up trying to figure out, was that the right financial analysis? Give yourselves a round of applause for that alone. Come on, one more time. All right. Hey guys, real quick, we're gonna say this Entrepreneur's Creed. Because when I wrote this Entrepreneur's Creed, I realized that there was nothing in the marketplace that spoke to entrepreneurs. Nothing that told what an entrepreneur do and what an entrepreneur is all about. So before we begin to go forward into what I have prepared for you, I want us all, if you can't see it, please get an eye shot, because I want you to be able to say this out loud in the crowd so you can understand what it means to be an entrepreneur. I'll start it off when you all come with me. I am an innovator. I see things, say it together. We saying it together. I see things differently. I am committed to the change in my world. There are many like me, but I'm uniquely different. I choose to take risks others don't see. Yeah, I'm taking that. I'm not afraid of losing it all because I see a big picture. I see a big picture. I know that if I don't do it, it will not be done. Therefore, I create. Hold on, let's slow it down. I want you to read it like, therefore, I create. I redesign. I develop. I will not take no for an answer. Because we are entrepreneurs, baby. Give it up to yourself. Yeah. I'm taking no for an answer. When I show up with my product, when I show up with my services, when I show up with my goods, you tell me no, I'm coming right back at you. I'm going to go through all the no's to get to the yeses. How's that sound? Tell me no today, I'm going to hurry up and get through that no to get to my yeses. You guys have a seat. You guys are just doing too much. You got me working too hard. Listen, there was a king over in the far land. This king that when he was over in the far land, this king's birthday was coming up. And this king enjoyed and he loved exotic birds. And because he loved exotic birds, what ended up happening was someone gave him 2 birds for his birthday. And he loved these exotic birds, but what he loved about birds was he liked to see them in flight. He loved to see these birds fly. And so when he got the birds, he took them out of the cage, and the birds took off, and one of those birds landed on the branch. When that bird landed on the branch, the king got frustrated. You could see it in his face. There was something wrong with the king. So somebody summons the town veterinarian and said, hey, come and see what you can do to get this bird to fly. So they went and got him, and he came and he started looking at the bird to see if the bird would fly, and the bird didn't go anywhere. He said, off with his head. He cut the veterinarian's head off. Went back off into the village, and they said, well, go get the village magician. And when they got the village magician, and the village magician came, and when he came, he said, hocus pocus, pocus hocus, bird fly, and the bird didn't fly. He said, what? Off with his head. Took his head off, and all of a sudden the king started feeling a tug on his robe. He started feeling a high school graduate that was pulling on his robe that was saying, I can do it, I can do it. He felt a collegiate student pulling on his robe saying, I can do it, I can do it. The king said, get away, what do you, get back. And all of a sudden, this collegiate student round came about with, he had a chainsaw. And the chainsaw was fired up, and all of a sudden, he cut the branch off, and the bird took off flying. Moral of the story is, see, often enough, somebody discounts us because I'm just a college student. Life sometimes discounts us because we don't have all the tools and everything that's necessary to do the thing, and so they don't call upon Daryl Height. They don't call upon you because they believe that you don't have what it takes. But veterinarian lost his life. You heard him lose his life, off with his head. The magician who had all the talent, skills, gifts, and ability to magically make this happen, off with his head. But it had to be the most lowliest, the most unlikeliest person. In this entrepreneurial space, you don't have to have everything to do what you need to do. Just got to get it done. My name is Daryl Heights. I'm the founder president of the Schweitzer Heights Group. We are a consulting firm here in the Tampa market, whereas we help businesses and individuals and companies, quote unquote, overcome their frustrations. So what's frustrating you today? From your business acumen, from the space that you live in, what's frustrating you today? Take a look at that picture right here. I was asked years and years and years ago, Daryl, how did you get in this entrepreneurship space? And I started talking about, man, I owned a cleaning company before. Man, I used to have a coffee shop. I did the mailbox, etc. I started talking about all those things. And then one day I was out in San Diego, California on the stage, and it dawned on me. Hit me like a sack of bricks. I don't know if this thing has the little thing that you can show, but you see that window on the right-hand side right there? That's my mother and father, my parents. That's the house I grew up in. My dad got into this situation years ago in the 80s that was called laid off. Anybody ever heard of that term, laid off? Been laid off before? My dad was in that situation. He was laid off. And when he was laid off, what he did was he went to the wholesale store in town, and he would buy potato chips, pickles, now-laters, Chico sticks. He would buy all of those things, bring them home, put them in their bedroom, raise the window, and we would begin selling those goods and those type of things. I didn't realize then, because I'm the little boy, that when he said, watch the store, boy, I'm going to run to the store real quick and go replenish. And he'd come back, and me and my sister that ate like 2 packs of now-laters, a bag of potato chips, we done drunk a soda or 2. But I didn't realize that at that time frame, this thing called entrepreneurship was being dropped in my spirit. Never even thought about it from that angle. You don't know what's happening with you right now until you get to a point, and this was when I realized that that was in 2015. Look how many years that was before I realized that was entrepreneurship being put inside me. Let's get it done. We're going to get it done now. We're going to stop procrastinating. We're going to stop talking about, well, all right, I thought about it. Well, I don't have everything. We're going to get it done now with strategic doing. See, because for so long, we've been sitting in the boardrooms. We've been sitting in the boardroom, and as we sit in the boardroom, what ends up happening is we start doing this thing called strategic planning. And then we got somebody who understands standard operating procedures. And then we got somebody who understands the agility of things. And all while we're doing that, the doggone thing isn't getting done. What does Nike's logo say, slogan say? What does Nike's slogan? Just what? Just do it. Somebody that told us not to do it. Somebody that came into your psyche and told you you can't do it. We're going to change that today. And when we leave up out of here, how many of it is in here, we're going to go find that person who told you you can't do it.
Yes, sir.
Hey guys, newsflash. Hate to tell you this, but education is not the key to success. Ooh. Dr. White, don't come running through the room. Education is not the keys to success. Your gift is. Your gift. Your gift keeps on giving long past your education. Your gift is that thing that God has already inherently put inside you. Your gift is the key to success. There's a guy by the name of Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, that guy. Education. He didn't finish college. There's another guy that has this thing called Windows. Yeah, that guy. Education. It was his gift. It was that thing that was inside him that said, fill in the gap. So I want you to know, newsflash. It is part of the equation, but it's not the key to your success. Today we're going to talk about introducing you to this thing called strategic doing, defining an opportunity. We're going to talk about some quick wins and things like that. Then I'm going to leave you with my name and phone number. How's that sound? Does that sound all right? Anybody got a problem with that? Anybody got a problem with that? All right. Introduction to strategic doing. What is this thing called strategic doing? What is it? Because when I learned of this thing called strategic doing, it hit me like a brick wall, and then I began to realize why my friends don't understand. I know why your friends don't understand you. Because when it enters into your psyche, you say, guess what? I'm going to go do that thing. And what has happened for so long is somebody has told us to sit down and write a business plan. They've told us to put together a business canvas. And all while you're doing that, life is happening. While you're thinking of this thing, when you're saying, you know what, I was thinking about, life is happening. You got to adapt and act decisively. You got to start doing the thing, because if you don't start doing it, I want you to ask yourself real quick, have a quick conversation with yourself. If you don't do it, ask yourself who's going to do it. Do it. Ask yourself, if you don't show up with that idea, if you don't bring that idea to the marketplace, who's going to do it, bro? You got any recommendations? If you got any recommendations, me and whoever you recommend or refer to me that can do that thing better than you, I will take you and them out to lunch tomorrow. You got no recommendations? So you got to adapt and act decisively. The other thing about strategic doing is about collaboration. How many business owners I have in here right now? All right, let's play. What's your business?
Finds and Reminds. I upcycle and resell clothing.
You upsell and resell clothing. Okay. Who does web design in here? You do web design? A little bit. Okay, that's fine. You do web design. Who does a little bit of social media marketing? Okay, you do that. So collaboration and innovation means that, as Ernesto Cerali stated, that he's helped over 50,000 businesses get started by saying, oh, you do that, you're great at that, oh, you're great at that, and you're great at that. The three of you get together and you collaborate, and when one of us win, we all win. Collaboration and innovation, and utilizing these resources. Use your assets, use the people who are available to you to do the doggone thing. Focus on doing, not planning. Because what happens is we will spend too much time just planning. Think about it. Think about when I just heard this team up here talk about their board meetings and stuff like that. You spend a lot of time planning when in the reality, someone is over there doing what you're planning to do. I meant to bring it up, but I got in my bag back there, I have a little placard that says, everything is figure outable. Everything is figure outable. So while you're taking time trying to plan, give you an example. Here's an example of doing. Over here on the other side of town, it's called Davis Island. If I wanted to build a park or build a building over in Davis Island, would it be best for me to sit around and keep drawing up all the plans on how I'm going to build it? Or would it be best for me to jump in my car, drive over there, put my feet on the ground, and start doing what needs to be done? Which one is going to move me around that much faster? Doing the thing. Doing the thing. And work with what you gotta have. Work with what you have. You're not going to have everything, but newsflash, the average successful entrepreneur only had 40% of what he needed to be successful. He only had 40%. Imagine that for a minute, because they always try to tell you, get it together, have everything right, and then when you show up, then you do it. While you're doing that, the successful dudes only have 40%. That means they got their name of the company, they got an EIN, they got a website, and they got that thing that God has put inside them, that gift. And what they've done after that is they've reached around and got assets. Jim Collins has a book that's called Good to Great. When you get the right people on the bus going in the right direction or the wrong direction, you still end up where you're supposed to be. Pop goes the weasel. Emphasize your progress. So when you emphasize your progress, you pretty much say, okay, this is where we are. This is what we've done. And we're going to keep on moving. Are you guys familiar with Lean Six Sigma? Anybody familiar with Lean Six Sigma? Anybody familiar with Scrum? Being Scrum. Okay. Lean Six Sigma is a process that organizations and businesses used to take. They would take a process, and this process would be them drawing out what it's going to take to do a thing. And people all over the world was getting Lean Six Sigma certified, paying $40,000 to get Lean Six Sigma certified. And they will be able to go into a corporation, and they are said to be able to go in and change things in that organization. But what they began to realize is when they started the meeting right here, by the time they got over here, everything changed. Rich man, poor man, baker man, and thief all have what in common? Time. Rich man, poor man, baker man, thief all have time in common. So while they were doing this, somebody else was doing the thing. While they were planning it, someone else was doing it. Someone was using their assets to help them do what needs to be done. Identify what needs to be done now. What needs to be done now? What needs to be done in your business right now? What needs to be done? What's slowing you down right now? I want you to do me a favor when you get back home. I want you to go and I want you to have a funeral. I want you to go have a funeral of this word called but. I want you to take Bud and I want you to dress Bud up and put Bud in a nice suit. And then I want you to lay Bud parallel in front of the church and tell Bud, you have no more room in my life. Because Bud negates everything you were supposed to have done in the first place. I want you to put Bud right next to that person who told you, well, you know what? you really ain't got everything it takes to do this, because you know what? You got to be this tall, and you got to be this type of language barrier. You got to be able to take all them cats and destroy them. Identify what you need. Identify what's going to make this thing happen for you, and do it fast. Somebody tell you no, you rush through to the next no. Somebody tell you no again, you be like, bet, I appreciate you, gotta go, got another no up the street. Because once you get through all the no's, you get to what? Yes. But many of us slow down in the midst of no's. There's no traffic at the end of a traffic jam. Ooh, that's powerful. There's no traffic at the end of a traffic jam. What happens when you get in the traffic jam? I jumped on the bridge the other day coming back over to Tampa, and I said, doggone it, doggone traffic, and jammed up. I was looking around, I was like, who gonna catch me if I kick in reverse and go right back up on the damn on-ramp? I started trying to figure out how I get out of the traffic jam, but then it dawned on me, Daryl, there's no traffic ahead of the traffic jam. A few cars up, it was wide open. I made the Tampa faster than I've ever made it out of St. Pete. But how many of us turn around at the traffic jam? How many of us try to figure out I'm gonna get off this road? This entrepreneur stuff ain't for me. This thing is tough, man. My friends don't understand. I'm the only one getting up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's concerned about my woes, my concerns, my issues. I'm getting out of this traffic jam. What can we do together that we can't do alone? So basically what that means is, why aren't 2 of you partners? Why aren't 3 of you partners? Heck, why aren't 4 of you partners? Because someone may know someone that you don't know who's able to do what it is that you don't know how to do, and you can lean on them like the letter A, and you can make things happen for yourselves. Don't be afraid of not knowing what you don't know. Don't be afraid of using your weakness for a strength by reaching across the aisle and saying, hey, you know what? I don't know how to do that. And they say, you know what? Well, I don't know how to do that. And then you guys do the doggone thing together, and next thing you know, pop goes the weasel. You end up being successful. 40%. 40% is all it needs. So we talk about that. We're going to identify your assets. What's an asset? What's an asset? An asset is simply an individual who knows somebody. I don't know who you know. You don't know who I know. But because we don't have that knowledge, you'd be surprised how deep and how far and wide that can help you grow what you're trying to do. It can make a major difference in what it is your business model looks like right now today. Who just started a business? Who just started a business? What's your business? All the way in the back. You.
Me?
Whoever, the young lady next to you, she raised her hand and said she just started a business.
I have a business. I have a business.
What is it? A business and marketing consulting firm. So we basically do the same thing. One thing Daryl Heights knew he wasn't capable and knowledgeable on doing is how to do graphics and designs. I needed that. So because I needed that, I had to go find somebody. And then when I found that somebody who could do it, I asked them, hey, do you know anybody who know how to do video reels? And then they said, yeah. And then they introduced me to somebody who knew how to do video reels. And then I said, hey, do you know anybody who knows about marketing? Then they said, yeah, I use this tool called Zoom Info. I said, okay, now who do you use for your inbound calls? They said, oh, we use this company called Answers Calls. I said, okay. And we just kept on moving, and you keep on moving, and you keep on moving the envelope because I'm identifying my assets. I'm identifying the people who can help me do the thing that I want to do. What are some opportunities in your community? In your city?
The local chambers.
The local chamber. Okay, that too. But I want you to think about it from the perspective of, as an entrepreneur, What are the opportunities in your community that are being left dormant and nobody's tapping into? Think about it from the business aspect. What's that thing? What's that gap I can go in there and fill? What's that gap? What's missing in my community? What's that thing that I do every day that I love to do that's missing in my community? Here in Tampa, I quickly realized that we didn't have an active and aggressive Black Chamber of Commerce. So I said, you know what? I'm an entrepreneur, popped my collars, went online, found out how to set up a 501c3, went and filed the paperwork for it, found me an accountant that said how you do this and how you do that. And last year we started in March of last year, and to date we have 153 businesses inside the chamber because I realized that the community I serve had opportunities. What's the opportunity in your community? They're all around you. They're all around you, but because the king has been cutting off so many people's heads, and someone stopped by and told you, nah, it's going to cost this much money to do that. It's going to cost that much money to do that. It's going to take too much of your time to do that. The biggest issue with entrepreneurs is this thing called JOB, called just over broke. But I had a conversation today with a young lady who has a job and she was talking about quitting so she could focus on her business. I said, don't do that. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is going to show up at your front door and kick the door open on you. You need food, clothing, and shelter. Don't quit your job. I said, what you do is you begin to look at your job as the bank, as the financier of your business. So you got your job, everybody got your job, but then you got your work. Your work is what that gift is inside of you. So when you get off your job in the day, you go home and start work. Work is your talent. Work is your skill. Work is your ability. Forgive me if I bring scripture into play, but the Bible says the wages of sin is death. So your job pays you wages, right? But it says the gift of life is eternal, which means it keeps on giving. The gift that you have inside of you, the work that you do, the work that you continue to move and operate in, it's that work that's making you do the things. How many of you guys get up early in the morning? Very early in the morning to work that thing. I get up, I'm up at 3:30, 4 o'clock on an average. My wife looks, she oftentimes thinks that she's sleeping by herself because I'm in the bed by 11 and out by 3:30, 4 o'clock. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm working that thing. I'm working it. Because if I don't do it, who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? Who's going to fill that gap in your community, sweetheart? If you don't do it, who's going to do it? Nobody. You got a recommendation? Take them out to lunch tomorrow, you and them. No recommendation? Okay, just thought I'd ask.
I have a recommendation.
Yes.
My buddy.
Take him out to lunch? Okay. We'll go to lunch. He don't think he can do it, so he recommended you to do it.
No, you said you need a recommendation. I can also do it, but you need a recommendation.
Okay.
I
But
don't wake up exactly at 3 like you or 4. I start at 5.
5 o'clock, that work. Whatever. There's a book called the 5 a.m. Club. You do what works best for you in your situation. As far as I'm concerned, when I lay down at night, my mind gets to thinking of all the different things and all the different gaps that I can fill in the marketplace. And what do I need to deploy to fill those different things in the marketplace? Measure success and outcomes. You got to have a clear metrics aligned with defined goals. In carpentry, they say measure twice, cut once. Measure twice, cut once. What is it that you're doing and how is it that you're going to get there? You got to figure out how you're going to get there. And once you figure that out and you got the right assets, instead of sitting there trying to continuously plan it, go do the doggone thing. Go show up in the building that you want to open up. When I opened up my coffee shop, I was canvassing the area. I was driving all over Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I was like, hey, you know what? Nope, it's too crowded in the city. Nope, it's too crowded on that side. Oh, right here off of Appleton. That's where I can open up at. There's nothing right here. There's nothing in this area. I was filling the gap in the marketplace. And I said, you know what? Boop. Just coffee. Just coffee. So what's that thing? What can you measure that you have to get? How are you going to get there? Who's the asset? Who's the person that's going to help you get there? Do me a favor real quick. Take a millisecond to do this. And think about 3 words. 3 words that define you as an entrepreneur. 3 words. 3 words. 3 words is defining you as an entrepreneur. And what I want you to do when you get those 3 words in your mind, I want you to write them down, put them in your phone as an alarm. And what I want you to do is I want you to consider and say those 3 words out loud every time you get an opportunity to, because I want you to live those words. I want you, when, just like I said earlier to the crowd, man, when I wake up in the morning, I say, woe unto you, devil. Because when my feet hit the ground, I'm running to tear down your kingdom, and I'm coming to build more entrepreneurs. My nephew told me a few weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, my nephew said, man, there's no one that can be closer to God than an entrepreneur, because you're trying everything and you need a higher faith and a higher calling to help you do this thing. Anybody ever heard of the story of Nemo?
What's the story?
Need more money, need more clothes, need more shoes, need more food. So as an entrepreneur, you're always seeking how to get more. And you're doing the thing to get, doing all the things that it takes to get it. Get it done now. Resistance to change. Listen, basketball season just started, Mr. Pruitt. Basketball season just started. So one thing I do know, that when you're coming down for the layup, and when you're coming down for the slam dunk, there comes a time that, what am I doing? You got to pivot. You got to pivot. And when you pivot in this thing called entrepreneurship, you throw the ball to somebody who's free. You throw the ball to somebody who can make the layup. You might even throw an alley-oop to somebody who you know can do that very easily. So you got to understand how to change with the tide and with the circumstances. Don't let the change of what's going on. Last quarter of 2023, it was stated that less than 23% of the black-owned businesses in the U.S. was using AI. Refuse to. In the church, they call it the devil. Oh, here come that this change is going to, God's coming back because people using AI. Then I showed up and I started teaching it to various churches. I was like, hold on, time out. You know that that computer that you use every day, call somebody and text and and that camera you use to call people? That was a change. Because I know you guys have seen the little thing before when they say all the things your iPhone or your cell phone does now. You would have a camera, a fax machine, a radio. You would have, so don't be afraid to change. Is this working out for you guys? Am I boring you? Anybody ready to go to sleep, take a nap, any of that? 8-count bodybuilders, somebody push-ups? Okay, all right, just checking. Quick wins and small steps. Starting small to build a momentum. Anybody, I mentioned Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Anybody live up north in the cold? You know about Milwaukee?
I'm from Madison, Wisconsin.
Yes. Yes. Who know cold other than Milwaukee? So what happens in this thing called a winter? What happens? This white stuff come down called S-Now.
No.
Yes. And so when S-Now gets on the ground, somebody says to themselves, let's make a S Now Man, a snowman. And they start making this S Now Man with a little bitty flake of snow. And the next thing you know, you got this abominable snowman. Just they call him the abominable snowman. But you gotta start small. And it's not, I'm sorry, rewind the tape. You don't have to start small, but yet start small. Let that small thing enter into your psyche. Let that small thing come into your psyche and you begin to operate in that small thing. And begin doing that thing. My friend Les Brown says this: the wealthiest place in the world is not the oil fields of the Midwest, of the Middle East. The wealthiest place in the world is not the skyscrapers of downtown New York and on Wall Street. The wealthiest place in the world is the graveyard. It's the graveyard. It's filled with untapped talent. The book you were supposed to write. The stage you're supposed to be on. The story you're supposed to tell. The invention you're supposed to make. The creativity, the redevelopment. I recreate, I redesign. That's what's in the graveyard. Because somebody showed up and said, well, you can't do it. Because somebody showed up and said you didn't have everything it takes to do it. That's what we see every day. Imagine this for a moment. Close your eyes. Imagine being in a hospital. You're in the hospital and you're on your dying bed, and as you're on your dying bed, your loved ones are sitting around the room and they're singing praises, and the room is full of joy and laughter. And you just slip on off to your final rest. But imagine in that same situation, the book that you were supposed to write showed up at your bedside, the song you were supposed to sing, the stage you were supposed to sit on, they showed up at your bedside and they say, look at you. You didn't even use us. You didn't even do what you knew how to do. You let somebody tell you you couldn't do it. Now look at you. And you slip on away. Open your eyes. Which one of them makes a better outcome for you? Because I don't want none of you to show up at that point and look around and say, dang on it, I should have done that. Chick-fil-A? Chick-fil-A? We love Chick-fil-A? Chick-fil-A founder's brother was in a plane crash. The founder he was very ill, lying on his hospital bed, restaurant in Tennessee on the other side of the country, and he's trying to figure out, how do we keep this business going? On his hospital bed, he asked the question, what's our number one product we're serving? It was this thing called a chicken breast at the restaurant. Now you can't go past a Chick-fil-A restaurant without the line being wrapped all around the building, because he started with the small thing. Set a clear, achievable goal for the next 30 days. For the next 30 days. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? In 30 days, you should be able to look at your calendar and say, whoa, I did a lot. There's a song by this gentleman named Sonder, S-O-N-D-E-R. And it's called Too Fast. That's a bad song, boy. People say I move too fast, think too fast. They think you're doing too much. Society tells me and you, we're doing too much. You need to stop all of that. You need to cut all that out. All that stuff you're doing. Because they don't understand the mind of an entrepreneur. The world isn't equipped to understand what an entrepreneur do, because somebody just showed up. Who's ready to fight? Who's ready to fight? Who's ready to go with me out to the swings with that individual who told you you can't do it? Who's ready to show up and tell them and take butt to his final home? Because he had no place here. Has no place here. Has no place here. Has no place here. So, I got a question for you. What are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? Why are you procrastinating? Why aren't you doing that thing right now? Why is your calendar filled up with the thing that you know you're supposed to be doing? Why are you waiting to put that invention out on the street? Why are you waiting to tell somebody that I need your help to get me to this next point? What are you waiting on? What roadblocks are in the way? Who's preventing you from doing the damn thing? Excuse me. Who's preventing you from doing it? What's the problem? What's the hurdles? What traffic jam have you ran into that is preventing you from doing the doggone thing now? Not tomorrow. I'm talking about now. When you walk up out this room today, you should be partnering with an asset in this room. And say, hey, you raised your hand. You said you do that thing? Well, I need help to do that thing so we can get it done. Time waits for no one. One day you're going to run into this brick road and realize that, guess what? I'm 90. I can't do anything. I'm limited in my walk. I'm limited in my talk. I'm limited in my mobility. Do the thing now. Do it now. Why not? What else you got to do?